When he ate, Foss always wore noise-canceling earmuffs, just to block out the mocking voices of his co-workers. But one colleague walked over, deliberately yanked off his earmuffs. Foss chose to hold back and turned to leave. Yet the guy felt ignored, so he hurled the earmuffs at Foss, shouting that he had no sense of humor. This time Foss still said nothing, picked up the earmuffs from the floor, and left quietly. The next day, he was called into the manager's office. Asked if he'd been bullied by colleagues, Foss hesitated before denying it, lying that they were just joking. But his tolerance only emboldened the co-workers. After work, they mocked that Foss always smelled bad and offered to bathe him. They roughly dragged him into the bathroom, turned on the faucet, his clothes were instantly soaked. He lay on the floor without resisting, silently enduring their humiliation. Strangely, none of this seemed to faze him. Whenever Foss felt lonely or stressed, he'd visit a familiar diner. The moment the owner saw him, he'd clear the cutlery from the opposite seat and serve Foss a plate of pad thai as usual. In his 40s, Foss had thinning hair and weighed over 200 pounds. His extreme introversion kept him single. One day, he finally bought a remote control car he'd wanted for ages. In the stairwell home, he met the new neighbor's little girl. She eyed the toy curiously and asked innocently who it was for, leaving Foss awkward and speechless. Just then, the girl's father appeared. After a quick greeting, Foss made a hasty escape. Despite the heavy snow, he couldn't wait to test the car, behaving like a kid in the snow. When the car needed tweaks, he modified it himself. At home, he had a huge sandbox where, besides playing with model cars, he loved recreating classic World War II battles, a hobby that led him to make his only friend. Unlike Foss, his friend was married with adorable twin boys, which Foss envied deeply. On Foss's birthday, his mom made a chocolate cake, and his stepfather gave him a hat and signed him up for dance classes, hoping he'd make new friends. The class was supposed to be cowboy-themed, but his mom dressed him in a formal suit. Mustering courage to attend, he felt wildly out of place in his suit and left dejectedly. Sitting in his car as snowflakes fell, he decided to wait till class ended. As the snow piled up, class let out early. A woman approached, asking for a ride home. Kind-hearted Foss agreed, but his silence made her suspect he was a creep. He hurriedly explained. To thank him, she promised to look out for him at the dance hall next week. When she got out, she joked.
Tack för att drepa mig.
One evening after work, he found the downstairs girl had lost her keys. Foss kindly took her in, offering milk and snacks. The only problem, all his toys were for boys. When her father came to pick her up, he didn't even say thanks, just rushed her away. The next day, the girl showed up uninvited. She'd already adopted Foss as a friend. Casually, she mentioned her dad thought he was weird. Foss was hurt, but the girl didn't agree. One day when he went for a walk, he ran into the girl again, who wanted to join him. He took her to the river, but she wanted to go home soon. When they arrived, police were waiting. Her father had reported her missing in a panic. Seeing her with Foss, he furiously called Foss a pervert. Foss kept apologizing, and though it was a misunderstanding, he was taken in for questioning.